Hello folks and welcome to Paddock Pass, the Brazilian Grand Prix pre-weekend edition 2016. Welcome to what is quite a different looking Interlagos. The paddock, which you may remember from last year, was being rebuilt. I'd love to say it has finally been rebuilt and all completed, but it's not. They're still working on it, as is the way in Brazil. But they're getting there, slowly but surely. It's wonderful to be back. Yes, the place is a bit tatty around the edges, but what a magnificent circuit. And we arrive here with the championship still really on the edge. If Rosberg wins this weekend, he will be champion, no matter where Lewis Hamilton finishes. So Hamilton has to win this race, and it's a race that he's never won. We'll be talking to both of those drivers later on in Paddock Pass, but we arrive here towards the end of the season, and people are wanting to make their decisions and their seats known for next year. A couple of those dominoes have started to fall over the last few days, one of which is at Renault. Nico Hülkenberg, obviously, a few weeks or maybe a month or so ago, now was confirmed to be a Renault F1 driver for next year, which meant that either Kevin Magnussen or Jolyon Palmer, or maybe even both, was going to have to disappear from the team to make way for him. It won't be both of them making way, it will just be Kevin Magnussen making way, because Jolyon Palmer, just in the last few days, has been confirmed as getting a second year at Renault, and he's absolutely delighted about it. Many congratulations. How long did the deal take to all come together?
Thanks. And I mean, obviously it's been on the cards for a while, the second seat, and then really just since Mexico. I carried on doing a good job the last few races, and Mexico was a good race, and then finally it was clear what direction Renault wanted to go, and we managed to get the deal across the line. So very happy now.
How difficult has this year been proving to Renault that you're worthy of a second year?
On the one hand, it's difficult. It's Formula One. The car's not been as competitive as we hoped. Also, it's been at times difficult to drive as well. So, on the one hand, not easy. On the other hand, I'm trying to show the guys that I'm driving for why I should do it. So they've got all the information, they've got all the data, they're really looking in with a microscope. So if there's one group of people I need to impress, then at least these people can see everything. So everything is transparent. And in the end, I've done it. So I'm very happy.
How much do you feel you've learned this year? How much do you feel you've adapted and changed since your time in Formula One?
Well, a lot, yeah. Is clear, I think. Even from the outside, there's things that you don't really appreciate that you've got to get on top of. And even from GP2 and some experience in FP1s, I think Formula One's a moving target. And this year for me, I think every weekend got stronger really. And I've learned putting the weekend together to really basically get the end result on a Sunday. So I feel stronger and stronger, and I'm happy now it can continue into next year.
New teammate, a new car, new challenges for next season. How much are you relishing both?
I'm relishing everything. It's really exciting. I think firstly the car for next year is, for me the goal this year was to be staying on for next year, because we knew this one was going to be quite tough. It has been, but I really believe in the team, and I think for next year we can do something a lot better. So secondly, with Nico coming in, I think he's an experienced driver. He's proven himself really, so I'm looking forward to working with him. And of course it's the same story, we need to work well together, and the end game for Renault is to be at the front. So it's another stepping stone, and hopefully it will be a stepping stone a lot further forward.
So Palmer's back for a second year at Renault, but it wasn't a clear-cut thing. There was rumours that Magnussen had been offered a one-year deal, which he turned down, supposedly because he's got a 2-year deal in the offing from Haas, something which I put to team boss Gunther Steiner earlier today. Well, I tried to put it to him, but he's never going to tell us whether they've signed Kevin or not. So I thought I'd just ask him whether he rates Kevin and how he thinks he'd settle into the team. He's not giving much away. Could you explain to us what the issues are that you've been experiencing with your brakes, and how you hope the trial of carbon industry this weekend, or carbon on the rain? Carbon industry. And how you hope that will rectify the issue?
Let's start with what we had the issues. We had an issue in Bahrain, and one with Esteban was the same issue both the times. A brake disc failed. With Romain, the brake disc failed, but in a different way. We had two different issues. We still haven't found the clear cause why they failed. We are still investigating. There is still ongoing, because it isn't easy to find out, because there is nothing left. If a carbon disc fails, basically you got a lot of carbon dust left, and it's difficult to analyze that. So we went onto the dyno, Brembo went onto the dyno, tried to replicate the problem or tried to break one, and we couldn't. Much higher torque, everything. So we still don't really know why it failed. We are testing carbon industry not only for the failures, because I think Brembo is doing a good job in trying to find the failure, because the last thing they need is a brake failure, or a brake failure they don't understand, because if you don't understand it, you cannot fix it. So, but the carbon industry material is a back-to-back material test, like I think everybody does once a year, to see what to go next year for and what the driver think about the brake materials, because everybody makes developments and the brake materials, they come different. How they feel, how the retardation is, how the bite is. And this is what we are doing this weekend on Romain's car.
So is it more about brake material than it is construction?
Construction, in which sense you mean construction? It is about brake material, but a brake material, mechanically how the design is, that is part of the brake material. So it's very difficult to go one way or the other, but it's a combination of the two.
My other question, obviously a lot of interest down here at the moment of your driver lineup for next year. I'm not expecting you to tell me who it will be, but how do you rate Kevin Magnussen as a driver? What do you think of him? What do you think he could bring to a team were he to be on your list of drivers?
Is there really an interest about the drivers? Well, that's new to me. Wow, I mean, I don't know how to find words now, so no. As everybody knows, we speak with a few people, and we will. I said in Mexico, by Brazil, everything will be unwheeled, and it started. I think 2 teams have announced their drivers, which were out there still in Mexico, and I hope we are the next one to do it, or somebody else it is. But I think by Sunday we know a lot more.
Because Kevin obviously doesn't have a seat for next year. Is he somebody that you would be interested in?
Absolutely. We speak with a few people, and he's one of them.
And what do you think he would bring to the team? What are his sort of best assets as a driver?
I think 1 year at McLaren, he was on the podium. He knows how to do the job, and he was pretty good this year at Renault. He was better in the beginning of the season than the end of the season, obviously, but that could be for different reasons, which I don't even know. But I think he would be one of the candidates.